stop being bad people, or else. My ref, we're gonna go in. Yeah, this is my third ref video this week. Isn't it crazy? But so much is happening all the time that I can't keep up with everything. So you know that of which I watch on stream is that what I watch, right? Anyways, we're going in. I have no idea. I saw powder on the thumbnail, then I saw banana juju on the thumbnail, and every time banana juju or powder are involved, I find it quite entertaining and interesting because these two polarize technically so much, but not really, right? It's like they're acting like it's, how do I say this? It feels like they're always in bad light, but their takes aren't really even like, they're just normal people. They don't even say anything crazy, right? Anyways, we're gonna. Also, please consider liking and subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And yeah, we'll see. Interesting, he covers stuff on stream, huh? I didn't know that, bro. I'm blocking the boy completely. That's crazy. I don't even know where to place myself here. That's unfortunate.
So guys, we're going to get into some VTuber related drama, mainly involving virtue signaling and two VTubers in particular, some problematic ones like Powder and Banana Juju, who are being attacked for some very ridiculous reasons, stuff you kind of...
Interesting. So, we already think you have a bingo on the buzzword bingo. So we have Nazis, bigotry, racism, transphobia, homophobia, all a lot of censored. Anyways, we have already, right? We have the bingo, the bigotry bingo. Look at this. Wonderful, isn't it?
I've expected this point, but I want to start by highlighting this tweet made pretty recently, but it says this: VTubing has no place for Nazis, bigotry, racism, transphobia, homophobia, and anything in between. None of that is welcome in my community. If I find anyone supporting or following people like that, it's an immediate block and ban. Take your crappy opinions and F off. Now, the problem with this is, not only is it around...
we call this, what do we call this? Follow policing is gay. Anyways.
The virtue signaling. These things basically amount to people I disagree with or people I don't like. It's as simple as that. And we're seeing another wave of controversy hitting Powder, who's regularly getting attacked. She's an edgier content creator. And, well, she was trending the other...
My favorite short of her is, "Oh, you're racist." And I love it. I love it. Because, like, these buzzwords don't work anymore. They don't work anymore, right? It's like, "Oh, you're racist." Okay, I guess I am then. Right? And that's, like, how you take all the power away. Because, like, what are they going to do now? You agree. So what are they going to do now, huh? Nothing. They can't do anything, right? That's what I like about it, right? Oh, like, you're transphobic. Okay, and what are you going to do about it? Oh, yeah, nothing. Apparently, as far as I've seen, Miyatsu has been kicked out of the Sega creator program, and people are harassing her because she, of course, has a take that people didn't particularly like, you know? Because, you know, the Sonic fandom is very much, how do you say this? Right, it's the people. It's those people. You get the idea. You know what I mean.
Their day, for many different reasons, but one of the main points that started it has to do with another VTuber calling her out, saying, "I wish I could ban specific people's emotes in my chat because what do you mean you're using Powder's emotes in my chat?" Which is a very aggressive and unnecessary thing, okay? Anybody with half a brain knows making this post is asking for more of the trouble.
It is, yeah. It is, because now you're going to be flooded with people using the emotes, right? This is kind of lol cow behavior, right? You're essentially asking to be harassed. Not obviously, don't go out and do that, but like you're essentially asking for it. That is what right? You're essentially like, yeah, I hate it. Remember when you tell it again? I love to bring up this example of, you know, if you tell a child no, you cannot write on this white wall with a marker, and they're still doing it. They're still doing it. They're still gonna do it. Yeah, that thing. Sorry. It's like Keep out. Do not enter. And you're right, people are doing it because if you tell them that no, they can't do something, they will absolutely are more inclined to do it. Intrusive thoughts, we call those, I think.
You're experiencing, okay? And I think Powder's response to it, totally fair and actually a pretty good one, saying, I find my emotes to be very cute. Rude, which is something I would do in the situation, right? If someone wants to call out your community for having the audacity to post your emotes in their chat, yeah, you just quote a screenshot of it and promote your community. It's a free chance to promote your community, your emotes, and just your platform generally. But who is the individual doing this? Well, a VTuber named Coffee, who has...
Of course, vtuber, she, they. I'm not surprised. Of course, ew. 18 plus, ew. Let me guess, there's a OF account in that card.co, I'm assuming. And then also, yeah, right? Sub 1,000 follower account, I'm not surprised.
He spends a lot more time whining about other VTubers than doing VTuber related stuff. And Powder, of course, would respond when they deleted their posts because people were clowning on them. Expected, obviously. She says this, I know I'm the VTubing punching bag almost daily at this point, but you gotta wonder what people are thinking when they fling stuff my way expecting me to tolerate it. Sometimes I fling back, so if the outcome is just this, image below, then maybe you should have just left me alone in the first place. Just a thought. Now, I think Powder gets a lot of controversy and thrives on it in many aspects, but it obviously doesn't feel good, especially when it's kind of a random punch out of nowhere like that. But of course, this Coffee person would respond in another deleted response, showing the previous deleted response, saying, I deleted it because I was literally being called slurs and hounded. I had people join my live just to spam me. You have over 100,000 following compared to me.
I'm gonna say something that's gonna upset people, or probably most of you will agree, but it's gonna upset a few people. Follower account does not matter. The amount does not matter. If you take shots at somebody, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if they have a million followers. If you take a shot at somebody and your shot is retarded, they call you out on it. That's your own fault. I know that this is hard to comprehend, you know. Oh, you cannot be down on me. You have more followers than me. Yes, I can. And if you talk shit about me, yes, I can. And spoiler alert, I will. This doesn't excuse anything. Imagine we use this excuse, of stabbing right? Imagine a smaller guy stabbing a taller guy and then saying, yeah, but he's taller than, and then the taller guy just beats, right, his ass, right? Imagine the taller guy stabs back. And then the smaller guy is like, oh yeah, but he's taller than me. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you talk shit about somebody, get ready to be shit talked back. And if you can't handle the heat, don't do it. Don't do it. Since you're right, people would agree with you, right? But apparently not.
Don't know why it really mattered. Now, people went through the VODs of this individual, and again, this is not shaming the person. I don't bring this up to shame them, but it's relevant for context. During the VOD, they had like 10 people in their stream. So there was not this flurry of people jumping in the stream, calling them slurs and popping off. In fact, if you want to see some real toxic behavior, it's found in the stream itself. They have the
kitty boy's complaining. You can hear him. Sometimes, right, you can hear my cat in the videos, which is very interesting, right? Just like right now. Really close. He's complaining because there is a fly in here and he wants to consume the fly, so he's a little complaining. You get the idea? Anyways, back to the topic. Oh, look at that! Stotaku. I see this guy occasionally. Good day to ya. Hi, Cricket. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hello. It's so interesting. Well, we're going against Powder again.
Bits redeem that says we are Charlie Kirk. If you give 1,000 points or whatever that's worth in their stream, it redeems we are Charlie Kirk. So this person has made a political assassination a part of their content, which is a very weird thing to do.
That is so weird. That is so weird. That's just odd. That's weird. That is weird. I'm gonna say this though. That is weird. That is just odd. That is such an oddity. Why would you do that? Imagine somebody put like like a car accident as like as like their alert, like an actual tragic car accident. Imagine that. Or I don't know. What's like a big assassin? I don't know. Kennedy. Whatever. Imagine somebody would. That's just weird behavior. That's a weird. This woman is a weirdo. Degenerate. Makes sense. YouTuber.
But then again, do we expect anything different from individuals like this? Also, personally speaking, I have a very big problem with this mentality of saying, well, you have a big following, therefore you can't respond to me when I directly insult you or call out your community. I am an equal opportunity crap talker myself, okay? I don't care if you have 1 follower or 1 million. If you say something publicly, especially about me, I have every right to respond to you. There is a genuine belief out there that if you have a bigger following, you're not allowed to respond to anything. Does it mean you should respond to everything? No, but you certainly have the right to. And people like this always cry victim the second they
cry bully. We call that a cry bully. It's like, right? It's like they complain about this, right? Which is like insane, right? They complain about it, and then afterwards, right? They basically call you out, and then when you call them out back, they're like, "Oh, why are you doing this?" Because you were doing it first. And I'm gonna be real. If I had a bigger following on Twitter, it would cause mayhem. I would cause so much mayhem. Because like, right? Ref says you shouldn't respond to everything. That's where he and me are different. I will respond to everything. That's the funny part.
get exactly what they're asking for, and that is a response from the person they are singling out and talking about. But they would make a final statement about everything, saying, I wasn't expecting the post to blow up. I have next to nothing in followers in comparison to her, and figured maybe a few moots would see it, and that would be all. This wasn't something done with the idea of her entire community of over 100,000 would blow it up. I'm not lying about the
I think you're a little bit overreacting, right? You're a little bit overreacting. First of all, it was just an emote. You could literally just say don't do that. Right? Or like just don't even say anything at all. Just ban and move on. Right? Or time out and move on. It's not that deep, right? It's not that deep. And then also, and I have to say this, it's not the entire community, because you'd be cooked. If it were over 100,000 people blowing your nuts away, that'd be something. Hello, mate. Hello, Parasaur. Like, that'd be you're not recovering from this. You might as well close your Twitter if it were 100,000 people going after you. But again, you're stupid. You should have just never said anything. But people can't shut up. And then they're surprised when people clap back. Try bullies.
emotes. Some got deleted and muted, and some were just banned straight up. The VOD is still up to be seen by anyone. Why would I make that up? They were posted multiple times, which is considered spam, And if you were intentionally coming into my chat with the intention of trolling, I'm obviously going to not want you there, and I will mute or ban you since I want my space to be comfortable, as they have We Are Charlie Kirk Redeems on their channel. Very comfy space. But they're right, in a sense. If people are there and you don't want them as a part of your stream, you have every right to ban them. But to go onto Twitter and publicly make a statement and get a lot of attention for it, well, you're probably going to get a response, and it's probably going to get worse. And also, people have seen the VODs. It's not the way this person is describing, but then again, they're just trying to play the victim in the situation. Many such cases. But you can see this reply from
Oh, I love Savvy. Savvy's cool. She's so based. I'm going to see I know what you mean. I just can't say the whole thing. The circus thingy. Lost act today. Interesting. Enjoy that. Too bad with all the shit that the creator of the show had to deal with. It's so unfortunate, right? It's so unfortunate.
Savvy saying, you don't need to give a statement. This defense of it's just for moots needs to stop from you freaks. Every day you hope your hate virtue signals loudly so you can become popular in your own meaningless little ideological sphere. Your own personality is as interesting as drying mud under the sun, so you have to virtue. You have to say you love people of color because the assumption by your insufferable side is that if you don't declare it weekly, you're a racist. And that was part of the final statement, but we weren't going to read that entire light novel. But yeah, this is the side that you're pandering to, and if you have to walk on eggshells, well, that's what you gotta do. That's what you invited. And if virtue signaling and doing that sort of stuff is the only way you can get attention, sucks. But I think this series of interactions sums up the situation really well. They said this on the 29th, so yesterday as of right now. For my mental health, I will be taking a short hiatus and return to stream for
Damn, bro! Damn! Oh, wow! Oh, wow! That's a post, bro! That's a post! That's a post, bro, of all time! Jesus! You're an autistic man with a corn addiction! That's definitely, that's a work of art right there. Wow! Damn! Holy shit, that's a good one. Wow! Wow!
the start of Dono-a-thon on June 6th. Thank you all for the support my beans. Now, how long do you think this hiatus would last? Not very long. In fact, it lasted less than a day. And they come back talking about whatever this mess is. Point being, they didn't even make it a day on their hiatus. Okay, they love the attention on Twitter. They can't leave. And despite saying they're above all of it,
that's just crazy. That's just a crazy post, right? Whoever made this, you are a madman. That is just right. And holy fuck, was that created with AI? Even if it was fine, but like if this was not created with AI, this would be even more crazy. Like that's just diabolical, bro. That's just an insane post. I need that meme template, Jesus. Oh my god, wow.
they're not. But enter the next person into the fray. This reduction.
Oh, Reduction VT. Oh god. Oh god, this can't end well. I'm also bringing a... Oh god.
Reduction VTuber. Cafe-owning VTuber and secret anarchist. Oh boy, shiver me timbers, a secret anarchist. Well, you can see they also were going through an interesting phase where on the 27th, they said, on my way to an interview that may or may not decide my entire future. And then they spent the next couple of days arguing with people, including Powder, on Twitter. Seems like a very weird use of your time during a critical point of your life, according to you. But they made this post that got a lot of attention saying, hey, step the F off, my friends. People don't like you because you're not a likable individual. You come through with toxic takes for popularity and then say little to nothing when your simp behind hounds come harassing people in your defense because you crave validation. Well,
I don't know. Well, somebody's certainly getting validated in a bit, I'm assuming. Powder's probably gonna bury this man. Sounds good. Yeah, it was so good. It was so, so good. And after stream, I have a little more. I have another snack.
about craving validation, the call is coming from inside the house with all these individuals who are desperately craving attention by virtue singling about people like Powder or any other controversial VTuber out there. But then we see this response from Celestium saying, just because someone's smaller doesn't mean there aren't consequences. If you and your friends don't want the heat, please stay out of the ring. Block her or mute her if you must. Just know that the same...
Yeah, Celestium has really grown, right? She has, right? When I initially found her, right, through the whole Roblox drama, right? And, like, look at her now. They grow up so fast. They grow up so fast. I like Celeste. She's really cool, right? By the way, guys, she has her men's mental health charity going on, right? Just saying it. Unless she already reached her goal, but I think it's still going on. I think she did it last year as well. This year again. It's very cool. Really, really cool.
bashing you give will likely be given back to you because that's the nature of the internet. Now, if you're calm at explaining and sit down and talk to her, it opens a fruitful discussion. It's fine not to like people, it's another to go assassinate their character. Calling people right-wing grifters won't fly anymore. We will push back. And yeah, that's pretty much anybody who thinks differently than these people. But this dude would quote himself, saying the hilarious part of this is that an IRL opportunity has been making me contemplate graduation from streaming for the past week or so. And ironically, the hatred of a bunch of simps and maggots in my replies is certainly a convincing argument to find a way to continue streaming.
The hilarious. Okay. Let me think this through. Okay. I'm gonna say something that's gonna trigger a bunch of people probably already, but I've said it before. I don't understand indies graduating. I don't even understand people graduating VTubers when they have more IRL stuff. Buddy, you can just take a break and come back when stuff has freed up for, more. First of all, I don't know why you're using graduation, by the way. You're not acting like a VTuber. You are doing politics, buddy. You're not graduating. Sorry to I'm gonna pull you that tooth, big guy. You're not doing that. Anyways, it's like funny how he like goes like Sims and like right and other insults, and he's like, but then like he started it and now he's being called out for it. It's like so interesting, right? But obviously, the people criticizing him for his behavior are the simps.
This person is very conflicted. I'm not really sure what's going on here, but you can see them whining about these supposed simps, the maggots, and all of that. I guess they want to keep streaming out of spite of internet people. That seems healthy. But then you can see this reply from Powder saying, when someone hits me, I hit back, and if their response is to run away crying, then I win. I'm glad my enemies are so weak. They should learn to pick a better fight if they're so emboldened to talk crap. I'm not sorry for celebrating my enemies receiving consequences. They should have the foresight to think about what happens when you punch at someone larger. Many such cases, but then this guy quotes that saying, the most mean girls stuff I've ever read. Someone so small that you would have had to go out of your own way to search through mentions of your name to even respond to that got what was coming because she didn't like your emotes in her chat. Play victim all you want. You had intent.
It's again this argument of, you have more followers, you're not allowed to hit me back. Again, Would this apply if a smaller guy stabs a taller guy, and the taller guy stabs the smaller guy back? Would that still be the same case, or could the smaller guy just like go out of his way and be like, "Oh, I won't go to prison, right? I attacked him, but he's bigger than me." That doesn't work that way. If you're being retarded, and then you're gonna face consequences. It's really all that simple.
So what? The original person didn't have intent when they made that post, whining about emotes being in their chat of people they don't like? This whole thing is just effing around and finding out. If you don't like certain content creators, here's the secret. Ignore them, especially when you have content creators who are controversial and thrive on controversy. Myself included, right? It's free content. If you don't want to feed people like me, Powder, whoever, free content, then stop doing it. Mute, block, move on. But instead, you show your behind to the world and you make yourself look stupid. And then when you get someone responding to you the way you've been asking for, you play the victim. These are nothing but cry bullies, ladies and gentlemen. But the other half of this drama involves Banana Juju, who we've talked about before. She's another.
I like her a lot as well. She's also really cool, right? I like her too. It's like all the best and interesting women are all in this. It's so cool. the female chud Avengers, basically. It's so hilarious. You are such a good boy, Duck. Ich würde dich küssen, wenn du Fieber hättest, und dann wären wir beide krank zusammen. Anyways.
Problematic VTuber. It all began with her model having a monkey theme with pale skin, caused people to go absolutely insane. People thinking her dreads were cultural appropriation, even though it's based on her appearance in real life. But for the usual suspects, that is a little too far. Now, the situation involves the VTuber Fifi, who's been in like perpetual drama.
Ah, yes. The queen of hoes. The V thought herself. What? Yeah, you're never gonna figure out. You're never gonna figure out. You're never gonna figure out. I can't say it, but you can never figure it out. Anyways, yeah, it's actually diabolical, right? I don't like these V thoughts. I said it a couple times, and I'm gonna say it again. And it gets worse considering, right? That I don't know. It's just so interesting, right? Because like I don't like her for many reasons, right? For one, right, the obvious one right here, but also she loves to, how do I say it? Sympathy bait? Sympathy bait. I think that's the right word. She will reuse the same posts over and over again to farm sympathy. For example, how lonely she is. Right? How lonely she is. It's just so interesting. Why not? Because people cannot hear this. It's nothing bad, but it would make people even more schizo than they already are.
Especially over not safe for work content recently, and she posted this saying, "Look what came in the mail," with a plaque from Fansly saying she's in the top 0.1%. And I always say with this, how would all these people feel about someone posting an award for being the top 0.1% of supporters? They would get clowned on immensely. Something to think about. But I think there's another conversation about sort of not safe for work content and lewdness in the VTubing scene. And people are very heated about this, but I think this post is interesting, saying I've talked about this recently with my friends' YouTube videos and my own, but I'm starting to step away from VTuber type stuff. I find lately that the sexualization that lingers in comments and chat makes me uncomfortable. Well, this is something that I was told would never happen, but it's got a lot of supports where things are becoming so hypersexualized that even just kind of regular VTubers and streamers.
Yeah, I can't imagine, right? You're just a regular girl, right? Doing her VTuber stuff. And that's just some, right? Because, like, people are so used to it, they just come in and, like, are starting to be weird. Of course, this is not, obviously not the norm, but I can definitely imagine it happening. And, nah, bro, nah. Like there's limits. It's, I don't know, we've devolved when it comes to the space, right? We've devolved. Uh, if people from 2016 could look at VTubing in 2026, they'd be, or 2018 even, they'd be very confused, bro. They'd be flabbergasted.
Are kind of subjected to this stuff and it makes them uncomfortable, but that's another conversation. But Banana Juju would quote Fifi in her award, saying, and the Schmore Award goes to. Now, before you think this is out of line,
It isn't. I'll be right back, Duck. Miss me. I will miss you.
apparently to Fifi, this doesn't hurt her feelings, at least she claims. Quoting that word, saying, oh no, anyway, with this meme of her character, so I guess you're not really allowed to get mad about that, according to her, as pointed out by Banana Juju as well. But there are some people who are a little bit upset, including...
Oh yeah, mental illness minx. Alcoholic minx? Wasn't that what it is?
Minx here, who is a bit of a lolcow at this point. Someone who is a very big streamer, but she has a track record of being extremely unhinged, and she decided to weigh in and start another round of Flesh Woman versus Anime Woman. And she says, and the Hypocrite Award goes to Banana Juju. They screenshot of Juju reposting arts of her VTuber model in a bikini. Now you can definitely say maybe there's a tiny twinge to understand there, where it's like, yes, you're shaming someone for making not safe for work content on Fansly, but you also repost sexualized stuff yourself. But the problem is there's no nuance with this conversation. Okay, I think there is a difference here, as pointed out, between someone...
Yep, there is a difference because one is reposting something, not creating it yourself, right? First of all, it's fictional, right? That's the first thing. Second of all, it's the fans doing it and not herself. So I don't think this actually works. But then again, just a hoe has no problem with that. Has a problem with that, right? Because she sees it same, you know? Fictional content is real. Remember that. Always remember that. These are real people.
Reposting an anime girl in a bikini versus selling your body, your real body, online for a price. I think there's different levels here. You know, correct me if I'm wrong. I guess this is a very Puritan standpoint here, but those things just don't feel the same. I get at a very tiny level what she was starting to go for, but you don't want to play the tape with this one and go all the way with this. It just does not seem the best. Not Minx, bro. She's back. And the habitual lying and missing the point continues, where people were making fun of her for having a blue check mark and trying to virtue signal about it, where she says, didn't pay for it, got it before Mr. Musk took over, bro. And she got noted, saying legacy blue check marks from before Elon Musk's takeover were removed starting April 2023 unless users subscribed to X Premium. So, yeah, that's another lie. And Banana Juju would quote the response from Ming.
Based! I love this one, right? I do. I love this one. It's good. It's really good. It's just so interesting, right? It's just so interesting. I love this one. This meme template is great, mind you. It's just so good. It's just so fucking good. This is peak. Thanks Shoe on the Head for that.
With this Shoe on Head post, which has become already one of the most used memes on the internet. I see this almost every single day, and well, there's a reason why it's resonating with people so much. And Minx would quote that saying, being called out by a racist, misanthropic VTuber was not on my 2026 bucket list, but here we are. Well, first of all, no proof of the racism, and also I don't think she's using this word correctly, and also just take the L. I mean, that's pretty much my response. But it doesn't end with the flesh women getting mad. You got plenty of VTubers using this as an opportunity to rag on Banana Juju, and, well, proving that Banana Juju is a racist by being racist themselves. Many such cases. This Honey VTuber saying, you know, the race-baiting Mayo Monkey is just bitter because Fifi clears her on Twitch too. Oh, so if you have a larger audience, that means you're right. I don't know if they really want to use that standard across the board. It's also just a really stupid one. But this person is fighting racism by calling someone a Mayo Monkey.
So we're being racist towards racist, like, arguably, right? Towards racists that they think, right, are racist. Not that Banana Juju is a racist. Sorry, my brain fried for a second there. Banana Juju is not a racist. So they're fighting racism with supposed. So they're fighting supposed racism with racism. So they're not any better, arguably, right? They're not any better. This fun fact: if you do the bad thing that you call other people out for, you're not. So if you do the bad thing that other people, right, do to you, you're arguably not the good guy. You're just the same. The amount of racists arguably just like increased. It's just so interesting. But again, it's against white people, so it's fine. There's no problem here, not at all. Also, this is completely unprompted to be racist here. She didn't even say anything, right? She just called it a whore a whore. She called a spade a spade. Why are we ignoring this anyways?
If I had a nickel for every time this happens, I would have enough to maybe order a fast food meal. It's happened a lot. It's happened a disturbing level. In fact, it keeps happening in this same situation, as we'll see. But it's like, what are you doing? Are these people serious? They get way more satisfaction out of virtue signaling hypocritically than they do just making content. Just focus on yourself. I am begging you. For your mental health and for your own content creation, it could be spent doing anything else other than looking like a fool and getting likes and seal claps from sycophant virtue signalers who aren't going to support your content anyways. And this is their response when people are saying, well, you sound like the only racist here. They say how I slept after pissing off all the openly racist VTuber Twitter fans. Yes, they are fighting racism by being racist. And now they're sleeping peacefully. Cool story, bro. But then we have this Nerlina individual who said,
not this bitch again. Not this chick again. So, for those of you who don't know, right, which is really interesting, so this chick was first of all racist, again, to white people. I'm not surprised. To us. And, then, which is even more interesting, right, she was also, in favor of the harassment of Kirsche, which made Advanced GG. Yes, you heard that right. That Advanced GG. The Advanced GG that did, cut off Ref and Straub. That Advanced Advanced, right? They kicked her out as well. It's really interesting. It's really interesting, right? She also said the Mayor Moon Cricket thingy.
I don't call these people grifters anymore. They're just terrible human beings. Well, the call's coming from inside the house right there, but also, you don't call them grifters anymore? Oh, so you're just proving that that word means absolutely nothing? It just meant person you don't like or person you think is bad? Well, if this person sounds familiar, well, they got a little bit of the Reb derangement syndrome and also a little Kirsche derangement syndrome.
KDS. I love KDS. I love seeing it on my Twitter timeline. The KDS, Kirsche derangement syndrome.
This person might look familiar to some of you. She was the one who was celebrating Kirsche being canceled just a year ago, saying so much Kirsche hate has been on my timeline recently, and to that I say, keep it going, guys. I love to see these racist Nazi Mayo moon crickets get dragged to filth. They really have to get creative. And I don't think anyone's really hurt by this stuff, but again, if you're trying to combat the racist VTubers by throwing slurs around, you look like a fool. Also, as people pointed out, she was kicked from Advanced for saying that, and that's a whole nother can of worms, but that was a funny other side arc in the history of my channel. But anyways, another monkey-themed VTuber decided virtue signaling time. They jumped in and said rent must be due. I don't think that is ever really a qualifying thing unless someone's I don't think that saying that, and that's a whole nother can of worms, but that was a funny other side arc in the history of my channel. But anyways, another...
I have to say something. I think I will say it. I think I will say it. I am going to say it. Why are all of the male VTubers that call her out, quote unquote, V-thoughts? They're all degenerates. Right? I can tell this is arguably a loot tuber. Like, I can so tell this is a loot tuber. Right? I like, he doesn't have it. That's a he, actually. He doesn't have it in his, like, name or in his description. But that's a loot tuber. Wow, all of them like that. It's so weird and odd and confusing. Are there no normal? There are no women defending this, anyways.
Another monkey-themed VTuber decided virtue signaling time. They jumped in and said rent must be due. I don't think that is ever really a qualifying thing unless someone's a blue checkmark power farmer tweeting every 2 seconds. I don't think Banana Juju is trying to farm pennies of ad revenue from this. I think they're just speaking their mind. And unfortunately, you guys are just giving more attention. So if you're worried about someone monetizing this stuff, you're doing a really bad job.
See, I don't complain that these people are stupid, right? I don't complain, actually. Right? We get to farm them. We get to farm them. And that's all that matters. It's that simple. It's content, right? It's really all that simple.
Of stopping it. In fact, you're promoting it. But then some people down here, another VTuber, made this sort of meme about Monkey, the cooler monkey, using that previous VTuber as an example. And when they get dunked on for being a goofball, they say to people upset, I'm sorry I made fun of your appropriation ape Mayo monkey waifu. Go cry in your AI generated body pillow. Stop white knighting. She won't F you, bro. So again, with these people, the only currency they have in life is, I guess...
I will respond with something sexual because sex is the only form of currency that I understand. Moving on. The meme is just real.
Sleeping with people, and they believe the only reason why someone would ever defend someone or disagree with another is because they have some ulterior motive of getting laid, which is a sad mentality, I regret to inform this individual, who also, again, drops a slur while combating the supposed racist. It's like ding, 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 ding across the board. All the anti-racists are acting like crazy racists. The irony. Well, it's not even surprising. It's not even surprising at this point, but this whole situation, whether it's with Banana Juju or Powder, or really any of the problematic VTubers, is nothing new. It's going to continue. And the people desperately virtue signaling on Twitter about it, well, they're just making it worse. And if they really cared about protecting their sanity and their communities, they would just block, mute, move on. But they can't help themselves. Because the only sort of validation they crave is from people on Twitter. Mainly their peers, who also have the same mind virus, where they're hyper fixated on this stuff because it's easier than just making content and building their own community. A lot of it is laden in jealousy, but we know this. But yeah, What else do you say about this? As someone who fits the category, I understand everything going on here. I've been a part of it myself, and all I can say is thank you for the continued.
I mean, yeah, makes sense, right? I understand it as well. Been cancelled on Twitter. I call the ho a ho. And I got like quote tweeted a few hundred times. Anyways, was cool. And then of course, right when I defended Celeste, back then in the Roblox situation, that was very interesting. Anyways, yep, that's what I said. Enough. I said enough. It is what it is. These people are mentally ill, and that's all there is to it. They only crave. That is the attention that they crave, and well, we'll keep farming them because we can.